All right, hello once again, everyone. I'm here now to tell you about my second course, my second 4-week course for the spring OLLI term. This one's quite a bit of a departure from the other course on populism. This one's called War, Peace, Refuge, and Return. And we're going to do one lecture kind of on each of those, although the war and peace part will blend together a bit. So as you can probably guess, War, Peace, Refuge, and Return, this is very much a class that's designed to give us a toolkit to try to understand what seems for some people to be incomprehensible right now. The war in Ukraine, what's happening in Israel, Gaza. How do we have so much violence in the world? Why is it so difficult to get to peace? Why is it so difficult to maintain peace? Why are some peace treaties better than others? So we're going to spend a couple of weeks looking at this, war, peace, but also the role that international law plays. What does it mean to say something's a war crime? What exactly, for instance, is genocide, since that seems to be coming up quite a bit as well? It's like, how do we call something genocide? What does that mean? Then the second two lectures will deal with refuge and return. Refuge obviously deals with trying to find a safe place to be. We'll look at refugee crises, especially refugees who have fled war, which will include, of course, internally displaced persons. We'll do a world tour of different conflicts and try to see, why in some cases people looking for refuge have found it in other parts of the world it's simply not possible. Malaysia, for instance, has a standing policy that it simply doesn't recognize refugees. So if you show up in Malaysia, you're an undocumented migrant, but you can't be a refugee. So why is that? And is that illegal for Malaysia to do that? And lastly, the idea of return. I'm sure in relation to Israel Gaza, as you know, there's this idea of a right of return, which is kind of the counterpart to refugee law. So is there a right of return? Is the idea of going back home after a conflict is over, is that as straightforward as it sounds? There's a lot of questions in there that people are talking about these days because of the state of the world, but most of the people, at least in the mainstream news, I should say, kind of get it wrong. So let's have a class, I said, where we can try to get it right. So material at times might be a little bit heavy, but it's what's happening around us, and we need to be able to look at it with a well-informed point of view. So please join me for this class, and we'll try to make sense of what's happening in the world around us.